this mythology, Paul's a connoisseur. Sarah has an interest, but it's all Greek to her. From Cronus's kids' weird childhood to what's going down in Hades' hood. These fables are bizarre but good. It's myth understood.
Stood.
Sarah,
What?
I need to tell you that I was called out.
Yeah, you got your ass called out on Twitter.
I was called at by at weeb fucking. So
Yeah.
I guess that's likely what this person does is call people out on Twitter. It seems like the sort of name that would do that. But it was totally validated because I screwed up. I said Thetis was Themis during when we were talking about the Iliad.
You know what I have to do now since
What?
I have to kick you in the balls.
You have
Ready? You're supposed to make okay.
Little
I have a very long leg.
little known fact about Sarah. She is actually remember the stretchy guy Dalsim from Street Fighter?
No, but I remember Stretch Armstrong.
She is there are her gay fathers. She has inherited both of their stretchiness.
Yes, I did.
They combined their DNA in a cup, and we don't know which one's the dad.
And I don't want to know.
But yeah, I feel free to honestly to call me out.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, there are many names in Greek mythology, and
Cosmo loves it too. Or Cosmo. Oh no, Campfire.
yes, Campo the pod dog is also calling me out right now. There are a lot of names in Greek mythology, and it's sometimes it gets confusing. Well, we didn't do our usual introduction. I'm Paul Bianchi, and
Sarah.
And and I'm sitting next to my best friend and writing partner, Sarah Oliver.
Yeah.
And we are getting ready to do another episode of Myth Understood.
No, I think we're good.
We're done.
Call the guy out on Twitter.
And for those of you keeping track at home, we are right in the middle of the Odyssey, the journey of Odysseus from Troy all the way back home to Greece, which shouldn't have taken him that long, but he just pissed off everyone along the way. He's got Poseidon, god of the sea, angry at him. He blinded his son, that Cyclops, who was just trying to dress up his
special dolls.
Yeah, he just wanted to keep Odysseus's men and dress them up like little dolls. We are dedicating this part of the Odyssey
to
just one part of his journey.
Oh, not to a person.
Well, it is to one person though. This part of the journey concerns Circe, or for again, because I would get called out for not saying this, the Greek pronunciation of her name, Kirke.
Kirke?
Kirke. It is spelled with a K in the translation.
Yuck.
Yeah,
I
even looked it up online because I was like, "What is this pronunciation with the K spelling?" And the pronunciation robot was like Kirke, and I was like, "Oh boy."
Kirke.
I'm gonna say Circe because I think Circe's a softer and prettier name. Sorry if you wanted to hear.
Sorry to all those Kirkes out there.
Sorry to all those Kirkes. Yeah. It just Circe is the name that has fallen into our mainstream knowledge, and I don't feel like doing like we did with Hercules and Heracles and switching back and forth the whole time. It'll get confusing. I'm confused enough already. Look at me. I've got spinning birds around my head, cartoon birds. Athena put them there. So yeah, when we last left Odysseus, he was fresh off his encounter with the giant Lastrygonians. They were the ones who 11 of his ships were in the middle of the harbor, and
they were turning everyone into cheeseburgers, right?
Yeah, they were throwing rocks from the cliffs and smashing the ships and spearing the men like fish and making little shish kebabs out of them. And Odysseus made his escape with his single ship because it was not trapped in the harbor, and the rest of his company was lost. It was just his one. He's now just with his one ship and his company of men serving aboard that ship, including his like annoying brother, uncle. I forgot the relationship. They I'm gonna get shit for this one too. But his
homeboy.
Yeah, like the troublemaker. Eurylochus.
Yeah, Eurylochus.
Anyway, they survived, and they set sail and felt like they needed to collect themselves and regroup, and they did this on the island of another word that's fun to say. It is spelled Aeaea.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Say, how do you pronounce it?
Aeaea is
Aeaea.
You don't even try.
Aeaea.
Don't even. It's just vowels.
Well, let's just call it the island of Circe because it's her island. Circe, or Greek Kirke, I will give it a second mention, is a goddess or sometimes nymph or human. She is all of those things.
Yeah.
Of magic, and she is a witch, an enchantress, and a sorceress in Greek mythology.
She's already awesome.
We didn't talk about her on our episode that we talked about Hecate, and we also talked about Nemesis on that episode, who are like the witchy women goddesses. Circe's role is confined mostly to her interactions with both Odysseus and Jason and Medea. So she's much more of like the human outreach sorceress witch character.
Customer service.
Yeah. By most accounts, she was the daughter of the sun god Helios and one of his wives, Perse, who was one of those 3,000 Oceanid nymph daughters of Poseidon.
Okay.
Yeah. Her brothers were another great name, Aeetes.
Titus.
Keeper of the Golden Fleece, and Perses.
Percy and Perses?
No, well, yeah, Percy was her mom.
Yeah,
and
Perses.
Perses was her brother, the keeper of purses. And
I'll just hold this while you shop, babe.
and then her sister was Pasiphae, and she was
a pacifist.
She was a pacifist, so much so we already talked about her. She was the wife of King Minos, who made him build that bull contraption for her so that she could get fucked by the bull.
Yeah. Okay.
So real pacifist.
Yeah.
Other accounts, though, however, make her the daughter of Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft.
Who? Circe?
Circe, yeah.
Kirke?
Circe Kirke.
Okay.
Last name Kirke.
So she's
first name Kirke.
Wait, she's
honestly.
either the goddess of water nymph girl, but still the same dad?
She may have other accounts may have had her be just like immaculately conceived by Hecate.
Well, yeah.
Which would, I'm goddess of witchcraft. I'm gonna have a witchcraft daughter made from just me.
Double toil and I'm in trouble.
Double. Oh, I doubled myself.
Yep.
So before the events of the Odyssey, let's go backwards in time. We're gonna talk about Circe's trio of ill-fated love affairs.
Ooh, a threesome.
The first one involved a man named Picus, who was the first king of Latium, and he was known for his skill in augury.
Don't just look at me. What is that?
Well, I thought you would. This is clearly a skill that you have. I've seen you do this all the time, Sarah.
What is it? Is it just being loud?
It is watching the patterns of birds in order to look at them to see signs from the gods.
Oh, yeah, that's what I do all day. But
Yeah.
I'm also very loud about it, so I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you scare away the birds.
Look at them come!
Clearly, that's a sign.
Yeah.
He was also known for his horsemanship. Clearly, of these two skills, one of them is retained its importance for a longer period of time, and by that I mean augury.
Mhm.
According to the one of the people who wrote about Picus, by the name of Festus, he got his name because he used to rely on a woodpecker for the purpose of divination. He had a little woodpecker pal that helped him out.
Okay, I can't wait for her to dump this guy.
The woodpecker's pal's name, of course, was...
No,
You know his name.
it's Woody?
Of course, it's Woody.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Okay.
I couldn't find a name for him, but we can call him Woody.
No.
He had a distinctive laugh. Picus was also described to be quite bonerific, and he was sought after by both nymphs and naiads. And you know that's when a man is handsome.
So he's just some stupid ass guy laying around staring at birds with a heart on.
Well, no, I mean, bonerific, doesn't that mean boner inducing, not someone who has one?
You know.
Yeah, one begets the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was also the first king of Latin, so he started a whole city. He's got leadership skills, and
I just see him kind of
he
like
can
being a mouth breather.
hire contractors to build a city for him.
Uh,
All right. Well,
dump him.
well, she's not dating him yet. Circe, sees him one day, and she's all like, "Look at that guy.
He's watching the bird.
Hey.
Go flip, 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 flip.
Hey,
Going left, going right.
that's cool that you look for signs for the gods, by watching birds.
What?
Hey, I was talking to you. Yeah.
Oh.
It's cool that you watch for signs from the gods by looking at birds, because that's sort of witchy. Guess what? So much in common. I also do witchcraft.
Do you like horses?
Yeah, horses are great. We should totally
Do you
date.
like boners?
I like yours.
I got it.
Great. Let's date. Unfortunately, Picus turns her down.
Oh, that's not a boyfriend.
He says to her, "Hey, I'm not interested in you at all. You're just talking to me out of the blue. And also, I'm married and in love with my wife very much. Her name is Cannons. And you should check out the Cannons on Cannons. You can't compete with that. They actually had a child together. I didn't write down the name, but I believe it was Faunus." Which is a terrible name.
Yeah. Well, you know, neither is a.
Yeah, but would you feel that Picus's devotion to his wife makes him less of a mouth breather in your mind, or is he just a mouth breathy loyal husband?
I like my wife.
Yeah, that's who he is
Yeah.
to you. Okay, well,
So Circe wants to hop on it anyway.
so yeah, she wants to hop on it, but she feels so rejected. Apparently, in many versions, he rejects her quite harshly. Like, my wife is prettier than you. She has a cooler name than you. Yeah. So get out of here.
He's evil.
He's so harsh. He's like, maybe he's even like, I'd rather do my woodpecker Woody than you.
Oh, that's too far.
Yeah, it is too far. And so she punishes him by transforming him into a woodpecker.
Oh no.
And so he flies back to his house, and he knocks on the door because he's a woodpecker. And Cannons opens the door. "Who is it? Is it my love?"
I'm a what? I'm a woodpecker.
Well, he can't say that to her. All she sees is the woodpecker. All she sees is the woodpecker on his door.
She breaks its neck just like we all do.
Yeah. No, she doesn't do that, but she interprets it as a sign. She's like, "Man, I'm not an augur like my husband, but maybe this is a sign. I need to go out and look for him." So Cannons looks out for goes out looking for Picus for several days, 6 days.
I gotta tell my husband about this bird with this giant erection.
And all the while, the woodpecker is flitting around her like, I'm right here. And she's like, I can't find my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, she becomes
Falls into something.
so exhausted from searching for him for 6 days without any rest that she falls face first in the river Tiber.
I knew it.
And drowns.
Of course she did.
Or, because there's always an or, she throws herself in the river Tiber, or she falls down next to the river Tiber and dies right there. And then Picus, as a woodpecker, throws himself in the river Tiber. There's so many variations. That's Greek mythology right there.
Well, Circe isn't the nicest so far. Okay.
No. There's a variation of the origin of the sea monster, either, depending if it's Latin or Greek, it's either Scylla or Scylla. And she, the sea god Glaucus, because there's so many Glaucuses.
Oh, yeah, we've heard this name before.
Yeah. He fell in love with the beautiful nymph Scylla, and he wanted to make her fall madly in love with him. And so he was like, hey, can you make me a potion for this nymph so that she'll fall in love with me? And Circe's like, yeah, I'm not in the business of making love potions, but we could go on a date. And he's like, yeah, right. No, I want to go on a date with Scylla. Oh, the woman who doesn't want to go on a date with you. Yeah. Okay, sure. So she makes him a potion, and the potion turns Scylla into a sea monster.
What is going on with her? She does not handle rejection well.
She really doesn't. No.
Is she ugly? Is she supposed to be nasty?
No, she's a beautiful enchantress.
She's not doing the enchanting so well.
No. Well, remember, this is her origin story. So these are her early years.
This is puberty?
Yeah.
No one handles rejection well.
Yeah, she's probably 14.
Sure. Okay. All right. That's fair.
So the last one is a story that I couldn't really find, but
great. So tell it.
But there are some sources that say she was exiled to her solitary island of Sayet. By her subjects or her father Helios after she killed her husband, the Prince of Colchis. So she's 3 for 3, just doing
Why'd
terrible
she kill
things.
him?
I couldn't find the
then
story.
Make it up.
He knocked over her like deck of cards that she balanced and turned into a castle right when she put on the last card. She was like, whew, done. And he was like, bam. And so she killed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That fits in with everything you've told me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's just chilling on her own island.
Yeah.
Tropical?
It's Mediterranean.
Great.
Yeah.
Coconuts?
I don't think so.
What kind of trees we got?
Olive trees.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like that island.
But she also, when we were talking about the Golden Fleece, Jason the Argonauts, she shows up in that story after Jason and Medea treacherously and brutally kill Medea's brother Absyrtus. And so they're running and they land on this island, or sailing rather, and land on this island, and they approach Circe, and they're like, oh, Medea, this is your friend Circe.
Hello, I am Circe. I see a man. Are you interested in me sexually?
No, but
okay.
Well, no,
I'm
see,
stop you right there.
I'm dating like a woman who's very similar to you. She's a witch.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
we would love to be purified for the sins that we've done along the way. Could you do that? And Circe has turned over a new leaf at this point.
The old me would have said, you say no to a date to me, you say hello to Hades. The new me, I've spent a lot of time reflecting alone.
Sure. Thank you.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, magic time.
So she purifies them of their sins and grants their blessing.
What does she do? Does she just like sprinkle some pee on them?
Probably. But then she asks, by the way, what'd you do?
Oh, after the fact?
Yeah.
So, I'm doing this backwards. But why'd you need to have my pee on you?
We just tricked her, Medea's brother, into meeting up with her, and then we murdered him.
And then she looks to camera and goes, "Ooh."
Yeah. Basically, she tells them to leave and says, "Be gone from my island," because she realizes the gravity of their transgression and says, I've done some shit in my past, but what you did, woo, that's unforgivable.
Let me tell you something. If a girl with no friends tells you to leave her island, you done fucked up.
So that's where she's at when Odysseus and his remaining men land on her island. And at first glance to them, it seems like it's a desolate island. So far, so good. I mean, they've had such success so far on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the only visible sign of life
is they smell her thirsty ass.
is a column of smoke rising up from deep within the woods. And so Odysseus sends his men to investigate.
It's her burning loins.
And puts his brother-in-law, Eurylochus, the bad news bear boy, in charge of the scouting party. So this is going to go well. After some time, the men reach Circe's house and find it home.
A one-person mamba line.
So just a woman dancing by herself, but walking.
Yeah.
That's a one-person mamba line. They're surprised to find many fearsome beasts, mostly lions and wolves, and among them pigs and boars and geese, but are scary. That was a musical reference that I just pulled out of nowhere that I don't think you got.
Nope. Push through it.
But they find them all slouching around. If you can imagine,
it's a lion kneeling down, taking a cigarette.
Yeah, they're all acting domesticated as the tamest pets that you can ever imagine.
Oh, now I like her life.
And
I love unusual friendships between animals.
From inside the house, they hear a woman's voice, and it's Circe singing melodiously.
Oh,
let's hear it.
I love lions and geese and wolves and sheep, and they're all my friends, and we eat olives.
Guys, there's a beautiful woman's voice singing inside, singing about the things she likes. We should go inside.
I love spaghetti and mashed potatoes, and I can't eat that on this island of olives.
Eurylochus suspects danger when he hears this woman singing.
I love guns and knives.
So he chooses to stay outside. And
such a puss.
Yeah. And as the men, there's probably a tapestry hanging in the doorway, and as they push it aside to go inside, they find Circe, and she has baked freshly and by that I mean gotten high. No, she probably. But she also baked some food. There's beautiful nymph friends. She's not alone.
Oh, she's not alone.
Inside the house, more animals inside, and
I love her life.
And she's really kind and warm as to greet them as they arrive, and she's like, please come in. You guys look so hungry. You
green
look like
bean casserole.
Yeah. And she says, you know what you guys need too, and as like the nymphs frolic around and start massaging their shoulders, they're like, a man, and they're like, doing all of that.
Oh, they
stuff.
are getting blowjobs.
Circe's like, you can't have your blowjobs until you have your wine. And so she uncorks a bottle of wine and serves them this delicious sweet wine. And then just like that scene in Pinocchio where like the boys turn into donkeys, all of the men start to turn into animals.
Oh.
And in many versions of this myth, they turn into just pigs because that's what she thinks of men.
That's like a scene from Willow.
Yeah.
I made you watch that movie.
You did make me watch that.
Willow.
You strapped me down and held my eyes open. But in other versions, they turn into the animals that are closest to their personality. So it's a zodiac.
What would I be?
You would be a pumpkin.
My favorite animal.
I don't know. I don't know what the animal. I don't think human. That's closest to you.
It's close, but not quite. Why does she do this? She's been so cock-thirsty forever, and here they all line up.
Well, she has a. You just said that you loved her life. She has.
Yeah. So she just figured like
she's got great lady friends.
Okay.
And
yeah.
they live with all these tame animals that are sad about their life because they still have their human brains.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want sad animals.
Yeah. Well, but when eventually they probably grow to accept their life. I don't know. We're getting into some real psychological torment here.
We're gonna break it down.
But yeah. So the pigs or the animals start grunting and weeping, and she like leads them into her pigsty of like, welcome. This is where you're gonna stay now. Mm-hmm. And she probably eats them too.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, who knows? Eurylochus runs back to Odysseus and tells him the whole story.
And Odysseus goes, no.
this did not happen. And I actually have pieces of their real conversation.
The real one?
Because this really happened. Translated into English from the Odyssey. Do you want to play Eurylochus or Odysseus?
Eurylochus.
Okay, so their conversation goes something like this. Eurylochus is first.
We're just going to pass this back and
forth.
Heaven-favored king, do not force me back that way again. Leave me here. I know you will neither return yourself nor yet bring back any of your comrades. Instead, let us flee from this place at once, taking these others with us. We may still escape the day of evil.
And Odysseus is like, so be it, Eurylochus. Keep your own place here, eating and drinking beside the ship. I must go yonder. Stern necessity is upon me. That's all I have.
Oh, that's all?
She held out her hand. Now, me.
Scene study class.
So yeah, breaking down that scene. Eurylochus shows his colors of cowardice, and Odysseus, as the hero of our journey, is showing his bravery. However, one thing about the structure of the Odyssey is that he is recanting his tale to others within the story, so he could just be making himself look as good as shit.
Yeah. And then I was like, no, let's save everybody and be really brave.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, well, who knows how it went.
It went exactly like that.
It did. On his way to Circe's house, as he marches out into the woods, he is
Confruct.
He's confruct, which is like being confronted, but also being fucked. By which Greek god?
Oh, no. Not Apollo.
Not Apollo.
Oh, okay. Athena?
No. Male god shows up to help.
Oh, to help?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm lost.
Hermes.
Oh, all right.
Hermes, the messenger god, shows up. Hello.
Watch out. I'm going to go be brave and shit.
Yeah, okay. You're being brave, but you're also being sort of silly.
Don't fucking touch my... Don't boop my nose.
You boop.
Don't.
You don't be so silly. Don't
Stop
be
it.
so silly.
That tickles.
Okay. I want to boop your nose one more time, And this magic. I'm gonna give you a magical boop. Are you ready?
What are you gonna do to me?
This magical boop is actually, it's not really a magical boop. You have to find this black rooted white flowered plant called holy moly.
What?
Oh, it's called moly, but I like to call it holy moly. And it'll make you immune to all of Circe's spells. So look around. Do you see a flower?
Why don't you just give it to me? Aren't you the messenger?
Yeah, I'm just the messenger. I'm not the deliverer. Did you just shoot me? Wait, first of all, where'd you get a gun? They haven't been invented yet, and you just shot me with it. I'm gonna take back all my boops. Anyway, look, follow my finger.
Oh.
Boop.
You damn bitch. I got a message for you, messenger.
Look out on the horizon. There's a white flower right there. Just walk towards it. I swear. Take a bite out of that flower.
What?
And it'll protect you from Circe's spells. Okay, bye.
This guy's full of shit.
So he doesn't do it and dies. No, he does exactly what Hermes says. He finds this this black rooted white flower, and he consumes it. And it tastes like the sweetest marzipan pastry.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he reaches
climax.
He reaches climax. Well, not yet, but he reaches Circe's house. She is there to greet him. He hears the singing through the tapestry again.
And I like turning people into pigs.
She's at the grand finale of her show-stopping number. All of her nymphs and naiads are wearing sparkling hats and white gloves, and they're doing jazz hands on their knees. And he walks in on that and is like, whoa, what I walk in on?
When I take a bath. Who are you?
I am Odysseus, and I heard a very unlikely story that I'm choosing to believe because
you look like a cute little piggy. Piggy.
That's very sweet of you to say. I've come for my men. Where
thirsty.
are they? Which ones are they?
Here's a wine. Here's a wine.
Okay. All right, fine. I can't turn down wine.
Drink it.
All right.
Drink it.
Thank you, lady. So he knocks back the wine and he hands her back the glass. And he's like, that was delicious. Thank you.
You trying to get me to hop on that dick?
Honestly, it's like you've read this before because that's sort of what happens. Odysseus, after she's so surprised that he didn't get transformed, Odysseus pulls out his sword and makes Circe swear that she won't hurt him, and that she won't, and that she'll restore the original form of all of his sailors.
Maybe if you pull out a different kind of sword.
Yeah, because she's so taken aback by his bravery that
how'd you do that? You just knocked my dress off. Big strong man.
Odysseus, she also offers her sincere love and unconditional devotion and kneels before him and probably gives him a blowjob, and then they go have sex.
Great. He was doing a good job of not cheating on his wife for a while.
He was.
I was really impressed by the 15 years. And right in the home stretch, huh?
I mean, let's be real. Odysseus was probably having sex with a Trojan slave girl during the Iliad, but
all right,
it's not written.
I was trying to like him a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. But if you want to give Odysseus the benefit of the doubt here, he probably
it's not cheating if it's an island witch.
Well, there's also despite being given the black rooted white flower thing from Hermes, he doesn't know how long it's going to last, and he's a little bit afraid of this woman who has immense power. So have sex out of fear.
Okay.
Yeah, there could be, that's the benefit of the doubt side of the story, if we choose that. I don't. So, but that benefit of the doubt sort of goes away because he and his men stay in the island of
Fuck Shack.
it's officially named to Fuck Shack now
It's renamed.
for almost a year.
Yeah, babe, I did it for us.
And remember, he's telling the story, and Penelope's like in the room as he's telling the story, and she's like, "Hold on, hold on, what?" When he's telling this part of the story, no, she's fine with it. She's like, "Oh, okay, you braved all that for me, all that sex, wow."
I didn't know you loved me that much.
So yeah, they stay for a year, and after a year, Odysseus becomes restless and decides to, hey, we need to go back to Ithaca, and I need to see my wife Penelope.
He basically woke up and was like, I have a wife.
Oh my gosh. I had a mission. Yeah. However, if we are to believe the works of Hesiod and his genealogies, it had to be more than a year, because Circe bears Odysseus 3 children, and they're not triplets. And their names are Agrius, Latinus, and Telegonus. So that happens, and then he abandons them on the island. Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Going back to my real family now. Bye.
Yeah,
just sick of tapas.
So that's sort of where Circe's story ends, because he then leaves Circe in tears in her bedchamber and abandons her and returns to his ship with all of his men, who are probably having sex with all of her nymph ladies, and doesn't save the other men that were there on the island transformed into beasts.
Oh, the other Piggly Wigglies?
No, he doesn't say like, and turn all these guys back too. They were probably great guys. He's like, no, he was probably roasting them. He was probably eating former human boars. And then they all get on the ship and they sail away.
Wow. So to have her trust as she's validated like that is really sad to hear.
It is really sad. So that's where her story ends in the Odyssey. There is a little bit of a follow-up with her kids, depending on the author of you know what, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna save this, but
say it.
But one of the things that happens is she decides to give Telegonus, the youngest son, a spear and says, hey, go out and sailing.
Run fast with this.
Go out sailing and find your father, and
stab him?
And give him this spear. And
he'll get it. It's a thing between us.
And that spear ended up being poisoned. And when Odysseus like checks the tip to like see like, oh yeah, is this sharp? He like pricks his finger and dies. So that's a version of what happens later on in his life. So she does get revenge. She revenge kills.
Wait. She knew he was that dumb? Like she wasn't just like, this will be a nice spear for him because then he can poison somebody else with it, because we don't stab ourselves with knives.
I don't know. She knew he would check its sharpness. I don't know.
He was always poking things.
However, there's what I wanted to continue on with, like, that it's not really the end of Circe's story, because Circe today has become symbolic to women for her power. There are, and not all women, of course, but the to certain women who identify with this story. So much so that in modern, basically in modern storytelling, her name is associated with this female power. Of course, we are both.
Are there any famous Circe characters out there?
Of course. It's spelled differently, but on a show that Sarah and I both watch, Game of Thrones, we have Cersei Lannister, and I would be remiss to think that George R.R. Martin didn't know the connotations of naming his character Circe, and knowing her as someone who is fundamentally flawed, but beautiful and powerful, but also wicked. She bears all of those crosses. And also, loves her children, has
3 kids.
yeah. So there's also one of our listeners, and I feel bad that I can't remember which one it was. Actually, I think it's because of someone that you said, hey, one of our listeners told us about this. So if you remember her name, she directed us to a contemporary novel by mythologist and writer Madeline Miller.
Wait, wasn't that Melinda?
Was it Melinda?
Yeah.
It was Melinda. She was on her. I'm dumb. She this contemporary novel is called Circe, and it's I don't want to mistitle it, but it feels like at least it shows Circe in a new light, if not being a feminist reclamation of the myth.
Mm-hmm.
I read this whole article about Madeline, and some of the things that Madeline was saying in the article reminded me of things that I feel like you would identify with, Sarah. There's a when Madeline was a little girl, her mother read her passages from Greek mythology, and when she got older, she started acquainting herself with the age appropriate like actual Greek myths, and was so disappointed because she's like, I wanted gods and monsters. Like, I didn't want this continuous story of rape.
Slut shaming. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a quote from her. She said, Circe as a character is the embodiment of male anxiety about female power. Of course, she has to be vanquished. For the hero to succeed, a woman has to be put in her place, which was always so disappointing to me.
Wow.
And so,
Ooh, I love her.
Yeah. So hearing that, it really, like, I mean, Melinda said, hey, you should read this, but I was like, eh. But then I read this article and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's on my wait list for my audiobook.
Cool. Yeah.
I only have 74 weeks to go.
Right, because you're going to listen to all of Game of Thrones first. Yeah. That'll take you some time.
Oh, it hurts me.
Well, and that being said, that's the end of this episode. Again, I wanted to, I think this wasn't Melinda. A listener did say, hey, please devote an episode to Circe. And I think that she's a character who's worthy of devoting this one stop on the Odyssey to fleshing out the story to the extent of what I could muster. So,
well, I enjoyed this bullshit.
You enjoyed this bullshit?
Yeah. Hey, we should do an Instagram live with these people.
For Madeline Miller?
Yeah. What is it called? An Instagram live? Sorry, guys, I'm 94 years old.
And
on our Instagram.
Is it a live story?
You're 97 years old.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna do that. So check in with us, and we'll also be in the UK, but you won't see us.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll run into us. Maybe, or maybe we'll hit you with a car because I've never driven English style.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, I told Chelsea today you have.
Nope.
Okay.
No, when I was in Greece, that was cars like how they are shaped in America.
Oh. Over there, north and south, you'll see war is coming.
Wow. I can't believe that it's only been 2 years since I started my classes at Augury University.
Oh, do you see that V shape of all of the birds? Well, that means my period's coming soon. I know that because I'm an augurist.
That was my teacher, Professor Madeline Jane. And she is the best augur I have ever studied underneath.
He has studied underneath me because we are sleeping together.
This Augury University changed my life for the better. I'm now engaged, and I know how to look at birds the right way.
Oh my God. I see that formation, and the answer is, yes, I will marry you.
Look to the south, look to the north, it's Augury University. I think that was the best we've ever done.
Yeah. But if you like us, follow us on social media, mostly Instagram. We don't use anything else. Sometimes Twitter.
So if you want to follow Myth Understood, you can check out our social media. We have _ Myth Understood, and that is our Twitter and our Instagram handle. You can follow me individually at the Paul Bianchi on Instagram, and Sarah, you have a thing
At the Sarah Oliver.
also on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes, great. I don't follow you, so I don't know.
I blocked you. That's why.
Forgot about that. Please rate and review us on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps people find our show so that they can learn more about Greek mythology and enjoy Sarah's insanity. And please share with friends, and remember to hashtag us when you are sharing, because that's another way that people can help find us. We are part of Dragon Wagon Radio, and it is an independent podcast network. You can follow It's Dragon Wagon on all social media. You can also show your support at dragonwagonradio.com/support, and you can donate via PayPal or gift directly from the Amazon wishlist.
So I love you all so much. We're going to go bye-bye now.
You sound like you're dying.
Is that my last words? Bye-bye.
Hey, Sarah, do you want to take a break from Greek mythology and instead listen to two filmmakers tell us about their podcast?
Sure.
Hey, guys.
Hi, my name's Mark, and this is Chad with me.
Hey, I'm Chad, like Mark said.
Hey, what's your podcast?
It's called The Hell With This. It's about that movie that you love that your best friend has never seen, despite you telling him to watch it about 1,000,000 times. Chad and I have a lot of those between us.
Yeah, so we're saying the hell with this. It's time to finally sit on the couch and watch those movies.
Where can we find this podcast?
You can go to thehellwiththis.com,
Oh.
or you can go to iTunes or Stitcher.
Or wherever podcasts are found.
It's Dragon Wagon.